welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for watching and for continuing to watch. If you guys haven't already hit subscribe, go ahead and do so right now and join the Girl on Wheels Society with me, with them, with all of us. So today we are here and we have some new people on my channel. You have seen them before. They were in my Crip Camp video, which, I mean, we went to Crip Camp. Met each other, what, like a while now, right? A long time ago. Yeah. We've been through a lot. So in that video, you guys got to see a little glimpse of them, but today we get to see them and experience the best of what MDA Camp had to offer, and it was these girls. This is Christy. This is Janine. I think a lot of people, when they think of disability, they have one image, and we're just three of so many. Ours alone is muscular dystrophy, which is muscular disorders. You guys already know me. T-I-T-I-N, myopathy. Janine, do you want to talk a little bit about what you have?
Yes, I have something called congenital myopathy, and that's a subname with so many different things underneath, because congenital is
from birth.
From birth, so it's a general. I haven't been diagnosed specifically.
Exactly, that was like my case. I was congenital myopathy, and I remember at camp we said we both have congenital myopathy, and everybody was like, yeah, we all have congenital myopathy. It's a broad term of just saying you were born with a muscular disorder, but you just don't know what variant. So because Janine hasn't got her diagnosis yet, she's still looking for hers. You have more range of motion in your arms, and you're more independent than what I know me and Christy are limited to. Like, do you go through muscle pain? I think a lot of people think that we're in pain all the time.
Yeah, especially when I get cold.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, my muscles hurt. I take pain pills.
We're living by the pill bottle, that's for sure. Pills.
I have limitations in my wrist. I can walk, but I can't walk for a long period of time. I do use a wheelchair
for longer distances.
Yeah, like Disneyland.
I mean, they just got rid of annual pass holder passes, which we all been pass holders. Yeah. That's our home. We need our whelchairs.
Coronavirus!
People like to say you're wheelchair bound, but I'm like, no. I ain't bound by my wheelchair. It gives me freedom. I know you feel the same way.
Wheelchair is helpful.
Without the wheelchairs, we wouldn't be able to do anything.
Okay, walking's out.
Wheelchair is just an accessory to all the other stuff that we get to wear, like makeup and hair. With our physical limitations, we also have... I got a nose. Itch. I got a nose. Disability has many faces, many attributes, and there's all different characteristics that make us who we are. Christy here, she is my gorgeous girl.
I'll kiss you on your forehead. You better stop playing with me.
I remember seeing you at camp. Your guys' group, they were the cool kids at camp. Let me just tell you that. They would not talk to me. Emily would know. You owned camp. Like, I want to be them. Growing up and becoming who I am, it's a lot because of you guys and seeing you guys at camp. I remember seeing Christy in her outfits, and she always looked so cute at the dances. And you too, you guys are just out there. You and Acacia and Chloe. I mean, I miss Chloe, I know we all do. I aspired to be you guys. Christy over here, she is my TikTok girl.
I have TikTok and somehow I got really popular. I had a TikTok where I went to a bar and a girl started twerking on me.
Just getting all up on your wheelchair like, hey, they're like, you got a chair, I'm giving you a lap dance.
That just
blew up. I remember when I saw that too, and I was like, it's just Christy being Christy. Also, Janine, you do TikTok as well.
Yeah, I'm on TikTok. I'm not as famous as Christy.
Oh, God, you are. You guys got more followers than I do.
I was looking at me up and down, looking at my...
Definitely follow them on TikTok. I'll put their little handles right there. I mean, all the kids are doing TikTok nowadays. I made like 3 videos when TikTok first came out.
Guess you wonder where I've been.
I really love seeing you guys post because it's bringing awareness and it's showing representation of people with disabilities, and I think that is a huge thing. So, Christy over here, your diagnosis.
It's called projected ataxia. As in these are all my muscles, like my voice and everything is like, I get really bad with my voice.
I love MDA camp because it allows us to all have a voice, get confident in who we are. And I know with your TikToks, you got onto them first because the audio.
Now I'm trying to do lives.
Which, go check out her lives.
See if people can understand me.
Exactly, and it's hard. I know, like, with me, my biggest thing for me is my hands. I always try to keep my hands down. It's those things like, will people accept? And I think that's the thing I love about you is you're starting to be confident in who you are and in your voice. And I love your voice. I've always loved her voice.
I'm trying.
You're doing a great job.
I'm self-conscious about my voice too.
Exactly.
Because when I hear myself from my TikToks, it's like, I don't like the way I sound.
Everyone has insecurities and have things that we have to deal with. Ability or disability. Muscle disorders, it affects a lot of our vocal, respiratory, and breathing. Let people take their time, let their voice be heard. You don't know like what you can be affecting. Or somebody who has what you have who isn't confident in speaking and then they hear you and they're like, she can do it, I can do it. You know? And that's the whole point of like the inspiration that I believe in, that we can be who we are, you know? And not have worry about what people think of us because it's not changing. You guys affected me in a way where I'm confident now. Like, just think of how many other people you're doing that to because of your guys' platform. And that's why we gotta keep trucking along and pushing through. When I was younger, I was so insecure with my disability, and I thought that I had to fit in as much as possible. I had to wear makeup, I had to wear the right clothing, I had to look as normal as possible so I didn't have people judge me just on the wheelchair. And that goes back to a lot of like ableist ideas of having to fit in and not recognizing that your disability has worth too. You guys heard of ableism?
No.
Thinking like disability is a bad thing. People are equated by their worth through physical ability. We all have internal ableism, especially people with disabilities, because we've grown up thinking that we need to be more normal to fit in to a world that isn't accessible to us. And that in turn made us feel like our disability is a bad thing. And yeah, there are bad days, and there are days where you're just like, I don't want this. But there's also days where if I didn't have this, I wouldn't have known you guys. I wouldn't have like done half of the things I've done in my life if I didn't have my disability. You know? Ableism is a thing. And inspiration porn is a thing. Have you guys heard of that one?
Yeah. I mean, inspiration porn is a good and bad thing.
That's what she said.
Because, yes, people can say that you're an inspiration. But, like, how? Just by living my life?
Just by existing? Thank you for coming out of the house today. It really warmed my heart. Going to the club and how like the people grind up on you and they get overly showy if you're there because they're like, I'm so happy you're here.
Like, it's nice to a certain extent.
It is nice, yeah, to get attention.
Yeah.
But when it's like all the time, every time, it's like, okay, obviously there's something.
Yeah, but on the flip side, other people need inspiration.
To have motivation.
Yes.
And I think it's cool. Like, I think disability can be a tool for motivation for people to be like, I have full ability. Then they can use that to motivate themselves to go and do things that they wouldn't do normally. And I love that. I love being a tool for motivation. But if it's like, oh, you're so inspiring because you're out in the sunlight or you're not home crying in a corner, no, I draw the line on that.
People are overly nice.
Every person will stop and say hi.
My caregiver Michelle is here.
Yeah, come say hi. We love our caregivers. They are important to our lives. That's for sure.
I only noticed this like the first week when I started working with Christy. When I'm usually by myself like at Walmart, nobody ever talks to me. Nothing. When I'm with Chris, everybody's like coming up to us. This one time some guy was telling us his whipped cream recipe.
Thanks for the whipped cream recipe. Do you ever use it? You're like, no. Well, probably made his day. That's what's important.
Was he cute?
Oh, well.
I love when people like they pray for you.
Yes!
I don't know. I feel weird. Like, wait, why do this for
Anyone else?
It happened in the middle of the mall.
Yeah. It's so awkward. You're like, what do I do?
Like in the middle of Victoria's Secret. Let me pray for you.
I mean, hey, I need some prayer from in there, that's for sure. I have some things to confess. Just little things like that that you notice, and you're like, would people do that if I wasn't disabled, if I wasn't in a wheelchair? Thanks for the prayers.
Let me pray for you, but walk in.
Unless it's a miracle, I'm still gonna be disabled. Like, nothing's gonna change.
You will walk in.
Will walk. It's what? How many years now? Wait, hold on. Nope, still disabled. I can't do it. Don't get me wrong. I'm all about prayers. But would you do this to anyone else? And that's the part where I take a little step back or roll back. And I have to think. It is a little awkward. It's just awkward situations that you have to come across, and it's not fun. I think a lot of people are just uneducated sometimes of how to approach us or to talk to us or include us.
Sometimes it's not their fault.
It's just because there's not representation and there's no education. Like I said, a lot of people think disability is this one stereotypical image of staying home and not doing much. Disabled people are having jobs, living normal lives, going to school. I know we both graduated.
We both graduated college.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, like, we're still living and thriving and doing us.
It took me a while to graduate. Like, so long. I wanted to quit so many times, but I didn't.
Things are stacked up against us already.
Oh, yeah.
So you gotta fight for your right to party. I know you gotta fight to have things accessible to you. I think a lot of that is coming about, and there's more means for us because we're getting ourselves out there.
There's a lot of help for disabilities at school.
Yeah, there's days where it gets hard. I have personal rough days, and I had one actually yesterday. I feel like for me, I am very much someone who's outgoing and I like to go do things and I like to keep my mind busy. But it is hard because you'll have those days where you feel a little stuck. And I'm going to get raw here. This is honesty. This is Ashley. This is my channel. We talk about it all. There are days where disability sucks. It does. You have this body where you can't do much or you can't do things you want to do. It's hard. And like when you're at home, you think about that and you're like, oh, well, I'm just being the stereotype. There's so much more than bad days. Our history, I mean, we have a huge history and movements. Yeah. And I didn't even know about that until like Netflix put out Crip Camp. Have you watched it? You have to watch it. This big movement that happened in the community that was built from camp in turn realized that life could be better, like how camp was. Literally, people were climbing up the Capitol steps. People with disabilities. You know, that's how it was for me at camp. Not to that extent, but like to see you guys. It showed me life could be different. I don't have to be what people think of me. I can be much more.
Yeah, camp is really life-changing.
It really is.
Yeah.
Camp is the best. Camp is what gives you confidence.
Exactly.
Yeah. Before camp, I never knew there was so many people like me.
As young girls, I know I didn't see anyone with disabilities. The only person I had was my older sister. But when you're brought into one area with everyone who has all these different MDs and disorders and disabilities, it's not just the stigma of disability because you see the community that you can make out of the people that you meet. And it just gives you that confidence. Because I have the same issues you do. We don't have to worry about trying to fit in to what people perceive of us, but we just have to be us. And that's why, if you haven't watched Crip Camp, you guys need to watch Crip Camp. But yeah, disability's hard. I know we have good days and bad days, but
yeah,
I think it's made us who we are. I love these girls. That's for sure.
We love you too.
I'm glad. Thank you. You finally let me join the group. These are my people, I swear. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.